Hello, welcome to Stretford Paddock. I'm Casey, and today I'll be going through a paper talk. Now, it seems to be a very Italian-based paper talk today that we'll be doing. So let's start off with some news that we kind of covered yesterday, but there's been a bit more that would work towards it. So yesterday, obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had his press conference in the morning, was talking about the new signings, the youngsters, how the team was getting on in Western Australia. One of the major talking points, however, was Paul Pogba and how Solskjaer commented on how they thought there was an agenda against him. He went on to say then afterwards that he didn't think he was for sale. Like, agents talk all the time, but they had no concrete offers, and Manchester United don't need to sell. Obviously, talking about Mino Raiola, Pogba's agent, and all-round nice guy, who had said that everyone at the club knew that Pogba wanted to leave. So, mainly, it was a surprise then when this morning the news came out that from Sky that United were going to put in a £72 million bid, or planning to put in a £72 million bid for Sergej Milinkovic-savic, a player that's been reported by many Italian sources as the Paul Pogba replacement. So this is in Calcio Marto and Gazzetta dello Sport have both said this statement. Now, is this a case of what's being shown on the surface is just kind of saving face, and behind the scenes they're working towards a resolution to a situation that maybe everyone might want? Because the thing is they don't want to have a player there that's very important to the team that doesn't want to be there. And Paul Pogba obviously will might put on in training that he wants to be there, and he'll play and he'll do his job because he is a professional footballer. But if he doesn't want to be there come season start, that's not the sort of thing that Ollie will want to rebuild with. Now, if we look at Sergej Milinkovic-savic, who's the player that has been touted as the replacement, he's sort of declined from the season before. He had a very impressive season. We saw him linked last summer from his impressive season before with Lazio. But he still has decent numbers. He's a sort of your traditional box-to-box midfielder. Averages 2.3 tackles and interceptions combined per game, 1.5 key passes, and he had 7 goals and 3 assists. But the thing is with Lazio, is they play in a system where he's not the main creator. They plays behind Luis Alberto in a sort of the traditional number 10. So from deep, he could be seen as this Pogba's replacement, and he has the sort of mentality that Solskjaer seems to want, of a hard worker. Puts a lot of effort in, gets in the running numbers, and honestly, I'm not sure if Pogba wants to leave. Then I feel like we should cash in, but I feel like we shouldn't take a low amount for Pogba. 150 million is what's been touted. Maybe a bit less is sort of all right, but in general, we should be taking the money in this market upwards of what we paid by 50 million at least. So. Yeah, that's that sort of news. But we're going to stay in Italy now for another piece of news, and it's a very similar name, which has caused confusion in the office this morning, of Nikola Milenkovic, the Serbian centre-back. Both Serbian players being linked with United. So Gianluca Di Marzio came out last night and said that 2 days ago United made an offer to sign Nikola Milenkovic, for around 40 million euros, and apparently Fiorentina want 50 million euros for the player. Now, this is kind of going against some reports that Sky have had that United are feeling more confident about Harry Maguire transfer. In my opinion, it's a transfer target, and if that's the difference in the prices, I would go for Milenkovic. I think 40 million euros is a great price for a centre-back. It means that we have money. We're not putting it all on one player. And he's a lot younger. He's 21 years old. He, again, fits in with this ethos of this young squad that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to make. And I feel like he'll be a great addition. But if we want to go into the statistics of comparing the two, Milenkovic was 3.1 tackles and interceptions per game to Harry Maguire's 2.3. So obviously it has a bit more of a defensive presence. Might be because there's more pressure on him. We don't know, but in that sort of numbers he thrives. Milenkovic was 3.2 aerial duels. He's very good in the air. He's a very tall, very strong centre-back. And Harry Maguire, obviously, as we've talked before, we said it quite a few times now, is a 4.1, which is better than, they both are better than what we have. And that's the thing that you need to realise when you look at these transfers. It's improving what United have. I'm building on that back four, because at the moment we have Lindelof, and then it's the partner that needs to be changed. Because if we don't change the partner, we're not going to improve. And that's what we need. Any sort of money paid by the club to improve on what we have is important. So I don't particularly mind who United bring in, but I welcome the transfer rumours. So we're going to look at some of the comments. United could do with him, yeah. Obviously, the centre-backs have been linked. But we'll have a look onto the last piece of news, and it's sort of a trifecta of Serie A transfer news, and that's Romelu Lukaku. Now, it's been going on for a while now. Romelu Lukaku has been linked with Inter Milan. Inter Milan have put in tentative offers, but it seems now they've put in one concrete offer. Been reported by many newspapers in England, The Sun, MEN, but also in Italy by Di Marzio himself, that members of the Inter Milan board were coming to England to discuss a transfer of United. And it seems that last night they put in a concrete offer. 10 million loan, euros, 30 million next year, 30 million in the year after. My opinion on this deal is you need to look a bit back to when Jose Mourinho was in charge and he wanted Ivan Perisic from Inter Milan. May have seemed like a blessing in disguise for some fans, because he's a very inconsistent player. But Milan played hardball. They didn't want to go lower than their 60 million asking price. And I feel like this is the sort of time that United needs to stand strong and may not quite get payback, but stand their ground. I feel like the loan fee needs to be more. The player's we're losing the player for 2 years before we're getting full payment. I feel like they need to get a bigger loan fee. But I'm not adverse to the 2 year to loan buy. We've seen it in different forms as we go on. Douglas Costa went to Juventus from Bayern Munich using it. James Rodriguez didn't have an obligation to buy, but it was a 2 year loan with an option to buy at the end. But he obviously hasn't taken that up and he wants to move somewhere else. But it can be a successful model for a transfer. And what it will allow is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to get the money in order for a rebuild and to get more players in. So I think, United should stand firm. They shouldn't back down. Lukaku can play a role in the team still. It's not like it's a player who doesn't want to be there. To be honest to him, he's been very professional about it. He hasn't come out and complained. He stated his desire that he wanted to leave, or it's been said he stated his desire he wanted to leave, but he hasn't made a fuss. He's got on with training. He's doing extra work in the gym today, apparently, according to Simon Peach. He's working in the gym at the Wacker to get fit. So I feel like United shouldn't be bullied into selling for lower. He can still play a role. I'll just have another quick look at the comments. Ruben Diaz, another player we've talked about a couple of times. And if nice Pogba leaves, that will make the rest of the players better. I think Pogba plays a good role, but as I've said, if he wants to leave, he should be allowed to, but for the right price, and they should have players that they want to add in to build the team around. Now, leave a like on the video. That's all we have for this morning. Very rounded transfer news, all about Italy. So if you could leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next time.